Oh my gosh. No way.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sam.
Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Oh my gosh. How are you today?
I'm good, but I got to tell you, I just logged into Facebook just a second ago and I saw Jesse's post, and Jesse was like talking about the live, and he was like, be sure to come. It's going to be a hoot. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. What if we're not a hoot today? What if we're not funny today?
Oh my goodness. We could fall flat on our faces.
Right?
You have a screen behind you today? What is that? Are you trying to get a fancy background?
What? What are you talking about?
Like over your shoulder?
Oh, that's my laptop.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm actually doing like work before we started.
Boring.
Yeah, boring computer stuff, but yeah.
I think you should change your background to just like a really giant selfie.
Whoa! I don't know about all that. It's bad enough that you tell me that Rachel puts me on the big screen on the TV. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know we all do that, right?
I know, and it's terrifying.
Well, people tell me that they do that to my class, which is unacceptable.
Right? I'm like, oh, my pores. Oh, my God, my skin.
Don't look that close. Everything's so much better from afar.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, so hi everybody. Hi Nicole, Kathy, Marsha. Everybody's here.
Yay.
Yes, indeed. It's so good to see everybody. It's been a minute. I mean, not really, but the weekend always makes it feel like it's been a long stretch. I had a really long weekend and I'm not mad about it. I'm not.
What did you do?
Nothing. And it was glorious.
Wow. That's nice. Well done.
Yeah, it was really good. Like we played Mario Kart and watched anime and ate chicken tetrazzini and just kind of hung around in our sweats, and it was wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah. It was nice.
Mario Kart. I'm terrible, but I love it.
I know, me too. I'm really, really bad at it, but I don't care. I'll keep playing and talk trash. I talk trash the whole time, even though I'm a terrible driver at Mario Kart.
How dare they make my car spin in circles? It's rude.
Right?
Let me drive. Does your Mario Kart match your real car? Your new car?
No, and I'm one of those people so I totally cheat because I'm so bad at it. So like I'll look online, like what's the best Mario Kart combination for like the body and the wheels and the the like that thing that what's it called? It's like a parachute. Like I'll look up the best combinations for that, and it's always something different. So it's never the same thing, but I do use the same person every single time. I use the little Koopa, the turtle. I use him every single time. Like that's my jam.
I don't remember who I used to pick. Was I like Princess? Is this the game with Princess Peach? I don't remember. I know it's been too long.
Yeah, and you can do Peach and you can do Metal Peach. So she's like rose gold colored. Right? Yeah.
Whoa. What are we doing today?
So we've got Sam's Summer of Fun bead box. That's the June box, you guys. And Sam, I struggle with figuring out which one's my favorite because it seems like every month the new one that comes, I'm like, oh, this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. And then the next month it'll be like, no, this one. But I got to tell you, this color palette is like giving me all the feels. The blue, the turquoise, the red, the orange. Like this is checking all my summertime boxes. This color palette is amazing. And not only is the color palette amazing, but there are so many shapes in here. I really, guys, I told Sam just a few minutes ago, like I just decided what we were going to make today because I have so many ideas running through my head, so many things I want to make. So it was hard to like narrow it down to just one thing. And now I'm even more stressed because I've got a class with you on Friday and I don't know what to make because I have so many options.
I have a idea for you for Friday.
Okay.
Maybe it'll help. We'll see.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw it at you in a bit.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I have my box right here. You're saying yes, and I also don't. No, I was hoping that the Sarah inspiration wave would just kind of like flow this way,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I'd be like, oh, yes, and now I have it. So I like kind of like intentionally don't have like a something ready to go right now.
Yeah,
Because I know once you start to get in your groove, then I'm gonna get excited. So
yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna open it up in a second, but I can feel the Sarah like groovy design train is about to start steamrolling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I picked a necklace project that I've actually done a couple of times, like way back, and it's beady goodness. So it's going to give me an opportunity to use different shapes and textures from this box, which I think is what makes this box so amazing. It's not just the color palette, but like there's so much texture here that and it all just goes together. Like you just do it so well, but you
Aw.
make it easy for the rest of us to create. And this is one that like I immediately was inspired as soon as I opened it, and I hadn't even really gone through all the beads yet. So well done, you. I say that every month, but it's so
Thank you so
true.
much. I really appreciate. I appreciate your kudos each month. It's very validating. Um, but yeah, I feel like you kind of get it each month because we're always trying to go for a very specific thing. We want each one to have its own strong character,
Mhm.
regardless of like everyone likes it. Like
Yeah,
if our goal is to have something that has a focus and like that can really kind of become its own, even like its own jewelry collection if you wanted to do it in that way.
yeah, yeah,
That like you can take your like your your little collection and you can literally just use those beads if you want. That's why we intentionally have a range of sizes, a range of shapes, top jewels. Like we really try to mix it up
yeah,
so that you can make a whole collection just from those beads, not have to get overwhelmed searching your stash. And like we want it to be like, because that's when it's like it can get kind of overwhelming.
yeah,
So I think it's like a little bit easier when you like we've done some of the work for you
yeah.
so that you can have a bit more freedom in your design. That's the whole idea here.
I love it. And I love that you look at it from like a collection point of view, because I think that that is one of those things that kind of takes you as a designer. It kind of takes you to the next level, because you're absolutely right. There's so much here, so much that works together. Some of it that can be challenging if you've never used these shapes or you are not used to this color palette or what have you each month. But then there's
Mhm.
enough here that you really could do like a collection, and you can display it that way when you're going to sell it, or if you are just wanting to put it on your shelf and look at it. Like it just makes beautiful jewelry artwork, and to look at it from a collection standpoint, I think really kind of opens up what's possible. You don't have to use every single piece in the bead box in one
Oh,
just like crazy necklace, or I mean you can if you want to, but you can also make layers of things. You can do a whole set. You can, there's just so many options here, and I know I keep saying it, but you really do make it easy, but not so easy that you're not challenged. And
mhm,
I think that's definitely worth pointing out, because I do
mhm,
see, people say, well, this is a lot of color, like this is hard for me, but I'm
mhm.
glad for it. And
Yeah.
I think that like every box, you're inspiring all of us to step up our game a little bit. So
Hmm.
you're doing more than just, putting beads and palettes and a story together. You're
Mhm,
causing us to kind of like one up ourselves as designers. And I see it because the people
mhm.
in groups are posting the pictures, and they're incredible.
It seems like every month, like people are getting more into it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
And there's this month has been a pleasant surprise because I didn't know how this box was going to be received. We never know each month. This
Right.
one felt more out there. We did so the theme this month is like retro 70s
Yeah.
summer of fun. Like it's like adult summer camp style is kind of the theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we really didn't want like really like young looking colors. We wanted something that had a little bit of a callback. So with our like amber tones, red tones, blue and turquoise,
Yeah.
have a cool 70s palette, but still bright and just fun. Because that's
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I want the experience of the box to be fun each month. This should be something you really look forward to.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like that is if I'm thinking about anything at the end of the day, I'm like, I want you to get your box and be so excited and
Yeah.
then just start making and then like want to go out and show off everything you made.
Yeah.
That is what this box is about.
Oh yeah. And you're what you said was so true. Like this is like adult summer camp. Like this entire box has a sophistication to it that I think that you hit right on the head. And
This
that's
is with some challenge. There's like ladybugs in there. So like, how are you going to use your ladybugs? So
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I've been eyeing the turtle, so that might be what I grab today. I haven't decided yet.
So these turtles make me ridiculously happy, and I just have to tell you a little funny as to why these turtles make me so happy. So I'm one of those people. This is so off topic, but also related because of these. I'm one of those people who I don't know what. Like I do know some of the stuff that you watch on TikTok, but I have a tendency to watch like ridiculous things on TikTok, like candy makers and like the ASMR where they're dumping the candy and they're making the mixes and you hear the sound and you see the candy like falling into the
I see them like cut the candy and there's like shapes in the pulled candy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So one of the candy makers that I follow is a candy maker out of the UK. And I am so obsessed with them on TikTok that I actually order candy from them from the UK. And one of the candies that I get is a turtle that looks very similar to this. It's just a little bit bigger. It's a gummy. And on the inside of it, it has like raspberry juice. And this, I was like, this is that candy but smaller. Like this makes me so happy.
Wait, that's so cool. I thought you were about to talk because I get turtles in my feed, but they're turtles that are alive.
Yeah.
There's like one video that popped up and it was like, alrighty, I'm gonna unbury my turtle after like 6 months. And I'm like, what?
What?
And people in the comments are like, you're lying. And they're like, no, like certain turtles hibernate or something.
Yeah.
And they literally go outside, bury their turtles, and then months later unbury their turtles because somehow there's enough oxygen under there. They survive.
That is insane. What if their turtle forgets about him?
What if they forget about their turtle?
That's more logical than what I said.
Well, yeah, what if the turtle needs to leave? Like, how does it work?
Who's
the emergency contact here? So yeah, we're not gonna bury our turtles. We're gonna put them on the desk.
All right, I'm gonna turn everybody around. Let's take a look at this, and you can kind of talk us through this, Sam, because having your
so laid out.
Yeah, having your input when we're going through this always just it makes it so much. It helps us kind of get an insight into your brain. So I'll tell you, I have a really hard time because every month I try to pick something that's my favorite from each box. And I had a really hard time this month, but I narrowed it down to 2 things. Okay. And I'm going to show you the number one thing that inspired what I'm hoping to make today is this right here. So I think this is probably my favorite thing in the whole box. This bursting heart focal with gold wash. And I normally don't use a whole lot of gold, but I'm going to use gold today. And it's just to kind of go with this heart. But this was the number one thing for me. But close second to this were these. I love these.
There's a theme in what you like. It's things that are like very like throwing them out there, like opening themselves up to the world is how I see it.
Yes, they're bursting. They're bursting from the inside. Yes, and lifting outwards. You're so smart. But yeah, and I love these. I think part of what I love about these is these are a little bit smaller than some of the other check glass with this pattern on them that I've seen. This size in this little burst pattern is just, I don't know, it's perfect because it lends itself to so many different things. Like a lot of times, yeah, and if it's a big one, you're like, okay, well, it's a focal. But because these are a little bit smaller, it's like, oh, I could do earrings with these. I could do a couple of different things with these. So these just really got me excited. But I do love this.
Your little red coin, or I guess not so little.
Yeah, no, I love, love, love. So the orange that you've included is one of my favorites. And I think we've talked about this before. So there's the banded agate that's in here. There's this orange coin. There are some orange, these like rondelles with the orange and the red running through them. This color orange is an orange I can work with and that I can wear. Whereas like a tangerine orange, I really struggle with.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but
That makes sense, though.
this orange does it for me because it's on the red side, you know? I mean, like I'm a little bit more comfortable working with this color. And then you throw in this color with it. Oh, yes. Yeah, mix these two together and like I'm in heaven. These are so boho and fun. These are awesome. These turquoise check drucks, and you can't go wrong with the druck. I'm just saying.
No.
It's one of the most perfect beads that ever existed. So
agreed.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gravitating towards some of the oranges of this box.
Yeah, these I'm loving these.
Oh yeah, there's there's 3 sizes in that bag that everyone got in the box. It's like
Yeah.
you got about 5 of the small size, a few
They're
of
so
the
pretty.
medium. I think you got like 1-ish. I think 1 of the largest. So you can kind of make a like whole little graduated collection or a jewelry
Yeah.
set. Which thought would be nice. They came in like this mix of sizes, and we're like, okay, let's do something fun with this. We gave everyone a nice little, I don't know, spread.
Yeah. I'll tell you what my thoughts are on these and what I would do with them in a minute. I'm going to sit them to the side. Don't let me forget, because I do have an idea for these that's just really simple, but I think would be absolutely gorgeous. And then there's color. Well, I mean, not that oranges and the turquoises are not color, but there's other color here. There's that amber color, kind of yellow, pops of yellow. There's even like this pop of purple in here. Like there's so much color here. It's amazing.
Yeah, that bead mix you're holding in the middle there is kind of what we're going for the color theme.
Yeah.
We try to like make a mix that like represents the box, and that would be it with the amber, the red, and the aqua that's in there. Rachel like just put together this bracelet, this necklace with some pipe chain. So can you see?
Oh, I love that.
It's like just like super simple, but like
yes,
that's me to wear. I look at it's I like my face in the middle, but like it just I think it really shows like you can make some really like sweet pieces from these colors together.
Oh yeah, yep. Oh, so pretty. It's all so pretty. There's blue rondelles in here. There's blue aventurine that is absolutely gorgeous. Like this has all the tones, maybe not tones, but all of the depth of that kind of denim-y blue, you know, because there's like the light, but then there's the darker, and it works so well with so many other colors.
Yeah,
like
those are June beads.
If blue were a neutral, that's what this would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it just goes.
That.
Yeah, it goes with everything. And then more on the shapes, we've got some of these diagonal drilled cubes, which are super awesome. There are these octagons that are gorgeous. These make me all types of happy. I got to take these out of the package. So these table cut groovy opals in this tangerine color. I want to make something fabulous with these. I just can't decide what it's going to be. I think it's going to be earrings, but I'm not sure. And the reason I'm not sure if I want them to be earrings or not is because I almost want to put them in a bracelet so that you can see them more. I feel like if I make an earring out of them, they're going to get lost in my hair, but they're so amazing. They need to be their own like star, you know?
These were one of our like tryouts. We're like, we want something different. Let's get these. We didn't really know what they would be.
Well, they're so interesting. The table cut that's on these, I don't know if you guys can tell or not. It's almost like an H shape. It's a really interesting table cut that I don't think I've ever seen.
Oh, I had never seen these, but I just like, we really wanted shapes that felt different this month because it's a really nice way to switch it up. That's why we have like diagonal drills and shields and those.
Yeah.
Things that feel different. I think we're like,
oh
okay.
Yeah.
It was a way we wanted to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah. And you definitely did it. And then we have our butterflies. We have our turtles. We have our ladybugs, which are absolutely adorable. I love the whimsy here because it's like, this is a sophisticated palette, but we're also not taking ourselves too seriously because like you said, we want this to be fun. And you guys make it fun by throwing in like these little nuggets of whimsy that it's just a reminder that like
Adults can have fun too.
Yeah, just don't take your jewelry making so seriously. The hibiscus flowers are always a winner in my book, and this color combo is perfect for summertime. So pretty.
It's so interesting you grabbed all 4 of these things together because they're 4 of the elements that I see as things that if you want could become very quick earrings, like for the front of a booth. Things that like kind of pull people in, because I think the things that always pull people in at like a fair type scenario are always going to be shapes that people are drawn to, like their favorite animal, a sun, something that they really like, oh, I haven't seen that in an earring before. It's not even a choice that they're going to buy them from you. So those are 4 right there that I'm like, oh, those are earrings that will draw people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you've got this amazing like pop of pink in here that is so unexpected, but it works so well. And there's lots of jade here. You were on a jade kick. and I'm not mad about it. Look how beautiful. Those are so pretty.
Yeah, we got a couple focals, a bigger, kind of larger and a medium. Little pink focal. Maybe could go with the other jade, or could go with some of the aquas nicely.
Yeah. Oh,
I love pink and light blue together.
So pretty. So pretty.
As you can tell, Sarah's like still hasn't even shown the whole box, and that's because somehow this box contains 26 items. I don't really know how.
Yeah, there's like a lot.
But we must have scored some great deals because we were like, oh, we got another $1 to work with, another $2 or another $3. I'm like, okay, throw beads.
Keep them coming. Yeah, so there is more. So there are seed beads in this box, which is very intriguing and exciting. I'm curious, are we going to be seeing more? Will we see more seed beads?
So we did see like 1 or 2 times in the first year of the box. And the feedback we got was, okay, the seed beads are really great spacers for someone who even isn't a seed beater.
Yeah.
But especially this feedback from seed beaters was the Czech seed beads aren't as consistent as Tohos or Miyukis, any of the Japanese seed beads. So we went and found a source for Tohos and got these little adorable 2.5-inch tubes that are filled. There's still plenty of beads in there.
Oh, yeah.
But Tohos are a lot more consistent in size, so you can do seed beading projects with them if you want to.
Yeah.
If you're someone like me, I don't do a ton of seed beading. I just like to fill everything with spacers because I think it elevates design without having to put a lot of effort in.
Yeah.
Let spacers work for you is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we're not necessarily gonna do it every month, but like when sometimes if we don't have another small spacer bead, we might now start include a seed bead instead.
I love that. And I love that you went with the Tohos. I know you and I had a conversation about seed beads too. And I think you definitely made the right choice for sure. And these are just gorgeous.
Nice.
And they're going to work as a great seed bead. As a spacer, they're a great little accent. You even if you're not a seed beader, you can string these on some wire and kind of frame a bigger bead with them. So there's so much fun that you can have with a little seed bead.
I'm sorry we're talking so much, but there's so much to talk about this box.
Yeah.
I think someone might have been following one of your techniques, posted that they took the heart focal and then took the seed beads and with wire created a frame around the heart.
Yes. I love that. And
genius.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the way I tend to use my seed beads. I can do seed beading and I do. But I leave a lot of that to, the experts like Danielle, because I feel like I speak better in wire, but I do love to incorporate a seed bead. And they're so beautiful.
For folks who really like seed beads, we have now started releasing a palette of seed beads.
Yeah.
With each box. So
which is awesome. Yeah.
So we released a May palette that sold out. So we actually are restocking that this week. But today is actually, we're kind of doing a whole bead box celebration.
Yeah.
Lots of fun this week. And this is definitely part of it. And tonight is our live sale where you can grab kind of extras of these beads in the box. You can grab a whole box if you want to. And we're going to be releasing the seed bead palette that goes with this box tonight also. We got it
Oh,
in,
that's so exciting.
yeah, we got 6.0, 8.0, and 11.0. So all the bases are covered. No 15.0s. Sorry, we tried. It's very hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait. So these are the tiara cast elements that are included, and they're just beautiful. I mean, you just can't go wrong with tiara cast. Anything that you pick that's tiara cast looks, I mean, it's just good. It's good. It's just, there's no other words. It's good.
Those are just cute. I've never seen a tree thing like that. I was like, these are lovely. I love these.
Yeah.
What do we call them on the bag? We didn't call them the tiara cast name. We're like, we need a more fun name.
Fairy Tale Tree Collection, which is perfect. Yes. I love it. I love it.
I was like, you're going to fall underneath that tree and find a whole other world.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm getting like Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm feeling it. I think I at least held up everything. I don't know that I got every single thing, but just look, you guys.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And we're going to play. Let's make something fun.
If folks want to, I don't think I've said yet, if folks are wanting to join the box, we would love to have you. We have a few slots we just opened up. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. So if you want to get the box, sign up now. You'll get the July box, which is a concept that I really pushed for and I'm very excited about because I did the box with Rachel. So you are not going to want to miss the July box. It is. Woo! Oh my God.
I'm excited. That's my birthday month. So it's only fitting that it be amazing. So
I forget that we're the same birthday month.
Yeah.
So folks, get signed up at samsbeadbox.com and Sarah has a code. Use just Sarah's first name and it gets you $5 off your first box. So you get all those beads, $5 less. And Brenda, it's $45 a month plus $5 shipping. So you get that discount on your first month. This month, I think, I don't know if you have the tag there, it was like around $70 to $80 value of beads.
Yeah.
I think it was 80, might have been around 80. So it's kind of the biggest value offering we have in the shop. If for folks that are willing to take on that like mystery element. So you have to be okay with getting a surprise. Every month's different. So like, you got to know that you're going to get a whole different theme each month.
And you're never going to be, I can vouch for the fact that you'll never be disappointed. And because like not everybody likes the same colors and all of that, but even if that's the case and like it's a color palette that you don't particularly love, I always look at it as like, that's a challenge and that's the way you grow. So yeah, I've never been disappointed a single time.
And you're also never alone. You're never alone with your box. You are right here. You're in this community of beaders. If you are struggling with a month, you should post and say, I'm struggling to use this bead. Yeah. How are you approaching it? Tune into some of these streams. Sarah and I go live every month the box because I know it's a challenge to like make with something outside your comfort zone. That's why we do this every month.
Right. Exactly. So before I get into what I'm actually going to make, what I was thinking with these is, so I have some bead stringing wire. I'm a huge fan of exposed beads. What?
Do you want to make yourself bigger?
Don't I have to?
Okay. It's my face.
So I love exposed bead stringing wire when your bead stringing wire is a beautiful metal. And so I have this really beautiful gold, which I don't use a whole lot of. This is just 49 strand gold bead stringing wire from Beadalon. And when I saw these, immediately what I was thinking, and I'm not going to do it, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of inspiration if somebody needed it, would be to string these on to this gold bead stringing wire and then use crimps in between and space it so that bead stringing wire is actually exposed between each one of these beads, and just leave it that simple. Just put some hardware on the end of it and you've got just a really beautiful gold bead stringing wire or silver or copper or whatever color you want to use. And then these beads are still the star, but they have that beautiful kind of metal running through them.
Oh, so I love the bronze with the ruby tones. That's something.
Yeah, very, very pretty and something really simple, but could be either worn by itself, or you could, you could layer this up with some other pieces, but it really is just kind of a standalone, simple, but you want to feel put together look that you can do with just some seed beads. I mean, not some seed beads, some crimp beads, and be done with it. So just another one of those, your beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every single skill you've ever learned, Sometimes less is more. I don't say that often, but it is true in some circumstances.
Sarah, I'm going to flip my camera on in case I get a little inspiration from you. So
Okay, cool.
give me 1 second here.
All right. So as far as my necklace, I'm thinking, so I want to do like a tassel, but I want to do a beaded tassel. And I want to start from this heart. So this was my inspiration for the entire thing. And it is kind of a design on the fly in the sense that I haven't put this together, but I know what I want it to be. So I grabbed from my stash, I got a couple of these like textured rings. And I think these came from Tiara Cast, but if they didn't, I know that Tiara Cast has an amazing assortment of textured rings, and they have great jump rings, and you could just use a really large jump ring. But I'm thinking that I'm going to use the heart as the beginning of my tassel. Like this is going to be the focal here, and then I'm going to do, let's see here. Sorry, Sam, I brought you back. I got in the zone and I was like, oh, where's Sam? Yeah.
I was a joy just watching.
So I want to do like a combination of like a little bit of chain, maybe 2 or 3 links of chain. And then I want to do like these little bead. The tassel itself is just going to be like these little stacks of beads. And let's see. 4, don't know how many, but I'm going to stack some things up here. And then let's see, where are those check glass? So I'm just going to use, I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, I'm going to use, I was reading comments and like trying to look for a bead, and I'm going to just use like some head pins and eye pins for this. I think I'm not entirely sold yet. I'll let you know. I just want to kind of lay it out and figure out.
Yeah, I think it's just helpful to kind of see a design process for approaching using a box, because sometimes literally just starting is the hardest part with a bead box, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So everyone kind of has their own approach, but we're already kind of getting a sense to see of how Sarah started with one bead and then kind of found things that complemented nicely. She varied up the size, and clearly is going for a multi-tone piece. If you look at kind of like my tray here, I've started organizing my items by tone because I'm starting with like the reds and going to build from the reds is what I'm thinking around the turtles. Both totally great ways to approach using the box, I think.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that is, oh my gosh, a whole fan effect going on there.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is where we're going to start. So since these are top drilled, I'm going to show y'all how to wire wrap these just in case anybody struggles with that, because sometimes people do, sometimes people don't, but I'll show you how I do it. I'm going to use some 24 gauge wire, I think, to wire wrap those. And then the rest of these, I think I'm just going to use some eye pins, but we'll figure it out. Let me grab some wire here. And all right, let's see. So I'm just going to use some 24 gauge German style wire. You really can use whatever you want. You just want to be sure that it fits in the bead hole so you don't accidentally crack the bead, of course. Mm-hmm. But I'm just going to thread this onto my wire, and then I'm not going to put this in the middle. I cut way more wire than I actually needed, but I'm going to bend the wire one side up along the slant of the bead, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other. So when those two wires come together at the top, it makes like a little crisscross. And grab my tools. So I'm going to take the longer wire and I'm going to bend it straight up and down. And then the shorter wire, I'm going to bend out this direction. So I'm making like an L shape with my wires. And then I'm going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers and just kind of hold on to that little triangle. That way my pliers are out of the way and it's holding the wires together so that I can get in here and wire wrap. And
Sarah, I might be feeling bracelet today. You seem like you're going necklace, right?
Yeah, I'm going necklace, which is funny because normally you're the one who makes a necklace and I usually make either a bracelet or earrings. So I think that was a smart move. Smart move.
Yeah, we planned that.
All right, so I've got 3 little wire wraps there, and then I'm just going to wire wrap again. I'm going to treat those little wire wraps just like they were a bead, in the sense that I'm just going to put my pliers right over the top of those like I would if I were wire wrapping over a bead. I'm just treating it the same way. I'm bending the wire. I still have a little bit of room there. So when I come in with my round nose pliers, go up and over, and then rotate the pliers and take the wire over to the other side. Now the goal here is to make the wire wraps meet up with each other and to try to get it as clean as you possibly can. Sometimes it takes a little practice to do that. And you can always come in and kind of clean it up with your pliers. But you want to try to make it look as seamless as you possibly can so that it looks like just one set of wire wraps, either going from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. You don't really realize that it's 2 sets that are meeting in the middle. So I'm going to come up back here to the back and trim off the excess. Okay, so there's one ready to go. And I'm going to do that to the rest of these. And I'm going to try not to take way too long here.
You take your time, Sarah.
I realize that what I've laid out here might take a minute, but I'll speed up a little bit. I just wanted to be sure that we walked through at least that part nice and slow. So I can feel like I taught something today. Right? I taught some kind of technique.
Even just showing like your approach, I think, is sometimes incredible. Is super helpful.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to put the box kind of together in their own way.
Yeah, for sure.
If you need a break, you can always switch the cameras over. I'm just starting to find things that go together.
Oh, I like that. There we go. Yeah.
I'm just trying to lay out maybe some sort of color block bracelet. I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting to know exactly what I want to do, but I think I might just have to start putting stuff on the string and see how it looks. I wanted the red. I really kind of wanted my reds in here, but I'm already now gravitating towards the ambers and turquoise together. But that's okay. Ooh, the red could work. Okay. Got these nice little cute saucers that I fell in love with ever since Danielle took her saucers many months back and just put a little sea bead between each one. And they create such a nice little unexpected texture.
I love it. So pretty. I love to watch you create.
That's how I feel about you. That's very sweet.
It's so true. I'm like that with Danielle too, though. I love to watch and Meredith. There are so many really wonderfully talented people, and I just love to see like how, just like you said, just watching to see how somebody approaches the box and how somebody approaches design. I learned so much from watching you and watching your use of texture. Because I think that you don't I don't know, maybe you do know that you're really good at it, but you really are very good at using texture to your advantage in your designs. And not everybody gets that very easily.
I appreciate that, Sarah. I'm getting a little verklempt over here.
A little verklempt.
Because I don't always feel like an expert jewelry maker, but I feel like someone where I do have like my stronger skill set has always been finding beads that I like and finding combinations that I like.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe I'm going for string wire. So I try to lean into that as much as I can. Because
Yeah.
if I don't know a million techniques, like you are like a library of knowledge of like you can put together something together in however you want. Sometimes it takes me a little bit more time to kind of really see how something's going to come together. And I think it tends to evolve more because maybe I'm a little bit more limited in like how many options I have to put stuff together, but I don't actually usually feel limited. I feel like I have the basic techniques. I think I felt like more comfortable in like knotting arenas and things like that, just to have a couple more options.
Yeah.
But ever since I like got down stringing and added that to my wire work, I've like been pretty happy. Like I was like, okay, I can make most things that I want to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and stringing is I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people who are like, if you ask somebody like, what's your strongest, and they say stringing, I feel like there have been times in my life where I've asked that question and somebody has said stringing and they're like, just stringing. And I'm like, no, take the just away from that, because stringing is a serious technique, and it's not just threading beautiful beads onto wire in a row. Like, you really do have to have an eye for art. You have to have an eye for texture and color and how all of those things work together. It's a skill that not everybody has. So for anybody out there who is just a stringer, please don't say that you're just a stringer. And one of the ways that I know that you're good at texture, not just from watching you create, is from putting your boxes together. I think that you do it without even realizing it, how well you put the textures together. Because there may be 50 textures in one box, but somehow you've already worked it out, maybe subconsciously, as to how they all work together. And that's an incredible talent. So,
well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like, people go to school to learn how to do that, and you just do it naturally. So this was an ugly wire wrap, y'all. I'm going to cut that off. Look at that. I just wanted to show you, like, I can wire wrap in my sleep with my hands tied behind my back, but sometimes things just don't work out too good. Like, that's rough. I
think we're all sitting over here like, oh, that's bad.
No, come on now.
But what is that? Was the small? It was like the one detail you were noticing. Is that what it was there?
Yeah, and it would drive me absolutely crazy. So yeah.
Okay. You're telling me to be kind to myself. I just want to making sure you're doing the same to yourself.
Yeah, I get hung up on those little things like that sometimes. And it's funny because I tell other people not to. I'm like, don't sweat the small stuff. But then here I am, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to undo the whole thing.
Let's see. Someone had an idea for me to swap out my heart focal with another sunburst thing. Holly said instead of the heart sand, maybe the round starburst one. So I have those here. Is there another starburst that I thought we had two. There's not another one, right?
No, I don't think so.
That's some flowers. I actually do like the flowers there. Well, I'm not gonna. I want my focal.
So the two starbursts are just the heart and the right. Little. Yeah.
As far as I remember. So when you're making all these like tassels, how do you envision them laying eventually? Is it like they're going to kind of form a cluster tassel together?
Yeah, they're going to make a yeah, it'll be a cluster, and hopefully it'll be a cluster that isn't overly crowded. But if it is, I can always take some strands away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times you don't really know how that's going to balance until you start putting it all together. So laying it out is one thing, but actually hanging it and letting gravity do its thing is a completely different thing.
So I've started stringing this up, and I really was wanting to go for color blocking, and I'm wondering if I want to go for a more neutral spacer to kind of maintain the color blocking. Because that was kind of the idea here. I wanted to do the three main colors of the box in one bracelet. God, where's my light today? Okay. And so I'm wondering if I want to do I'd like some more neutral seed beads. Let's see here. You always like add extra things to your pieces, and I love that. And when I'm designing, I'm often making for myself, and I always actually tend to start to edit myself more.
Yeah.
Because like I tend to wear slightly simpler things.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least it's easier to wear slightly simpler things. So I tend to not do lots of extra danglies, extra cha-cha.
I love all the dangles in the cha-cha. I gotta have all that.
Where I was like, that's not quite the Sarah method. Okay, I'm already like, I just did grab some of the little bronze spacers we had as part of the CB palette from last month's box. I'm already really liking. It actually adds a nice elevated feel. But that's not surprising. I go for metallic spacers for almost everything. How those wraps coming along over there, Sarah?
Well, so Rachel has said that the next show is me doing my wire wraps with my hands tied behind my back. So I'm thinking maybe I might be talking a little too much trash today, and I better watch it because Rachel's gonna put me on.
Which Rachel is this?
You're Rachel.
No way.
Yeah. She's gonna make me prove it.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I do wonder what our wraps would look like not looking. It doesn't have to be behind her back. We could do it blindfolded.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
wait,
I would be curious. I'd be curious.
Wait, I love this. Okay, maybe we're gonna have to do a little bonus live. We're doing this whole like summer of fun series at Sam's Bead Shop, and I think we're gonna have you on for a little bonus stream.
Uh-huh.
I have to remember that my wrist is tiny.
We'll call it "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is," Sarah. I have leftovers from yesterday for talking smack on Mario Kart. Now I gotta watch it with jewelry because y'all make me prove that.
I'm actually I bet we could do something blind, like I bet we could do wraps blindfolded. I'm just so curious how good would they be? There's something would happen.
Oh yeah. Definitely something would happen. I know you've seen these videos where like one person sits behind the other person and the person behind is giving their hands to the person in the front. And usually it's like a cooking video or like an eating video. And the person behind them can't see, but their hands are doing all the things. And the person that's talking, like I could see that being a jewelry thing. Like, I don't know how something like that would work, but I feel like it would be really entertaining to watch.
I like the food relays on YouTube where folks will like have like 10 minutes to cook and then someone else has to come in the kitchen and continue the recipe without knowing what they're cooking.
Oh, like a round robin. You can do that with jewelry making too.
That'd be like a great thing to do at like a jewelry making party.
Yes, that would be awesome. So I'm still planning. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it because you and I need to have a conversation about it for sure off camera, about me coming to California to visit. I really am planning on doing that.
I've got space for you, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm coming, and I'm hoping that maybe you'll have some time to have a visitor maybe in August or September. And these are things that we should definitely do. Like when I'm there, like we could do a whole like little round robin, and we get everybody involved.
You don't have to convince me. There's no pull in here.
Yeah.
So I learned recently I have tiny wrists. I have 7-inch wrists.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is annoying because that means less beads on my wrist. Unless I do a multi-strand. So I'm already having to get out because I'm like, I'm going to run out of room really soon here. I'm already at, what? I'm already over 4 inches. Oh, jeez. Okay, I gotta wrap this thing up.
Oh my gosh. I know. And we're like already at almost an hour. And I'm like, I haven't gotten anything done. I have to at least get this tassel done so that you guys can see what the tassel will look like. And then I can string the rest of this like maybe afterwards. But this tassel is coming together one way or another. So
It's happening.
It's happening. It's happening.
Folks, if you're not busy tonight, come on over to Sam's Bead Shop. We are doing that live sale I mentioned. I forgot to say the time. It's 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Beadbox live sale is always a happening thing, so you should come hang out with us.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm liking. So here's where I'm at, Sarah, with my color blocking.
Oh,
actually,
so
I did it. I meant for that orange. I would have put that sooner. Because I've been trying to summon my like Danielle Wicks color blocking lately. I really have been drawn to it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm clicking Command Z. Okay. Okay, I want the oranges together. Yeah, something like that. Gosh. Okay. I think I can finish one bracelet. You think I could finish one bracelet, right? I think so.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
now that I have my...
probably could have gone faster if I had decided, like I originally said, to use eye pins instead of making my own. But I mean, whatever.
You know, I don't even own a single eye pin.
Really?
No.
I love that. I should be more like that. You don't have any eye pins and you have all the spacers in the whole world. Like your use of metal spacers is, I'm just in awe.
I love spacers. Spacers, y'all. Spacers are your bestie when you're designing.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're like need to just get to that next step, like more spacers, just more spacers.
Yep.
And varying them, like I'm always trying to play with like, okay, there's one spacer, but how about 3 spacers to give that bead a little bit more space?
Yeah.
I just think they make a world of difference to let your beads do their own little sparkle on their own.
Yep.
Because they can do it.
Yeah, and the spacers don't necessarily take away, like unless you really want to make them part of the, the visual part of the design, they don't take away visually from things. And I feel like that's part of the reason that I shy away from using them, is because I'm like, well, but it's too much metal and I need to get over that, because that's not true.
And you don't have to use metal spacers. That's why I've been trying to get more and more seed beads, because they're lighter. They tend to weigh less.
Yeah.
They come in a lot of metallic tones and every color in the universe. I mean, especially seed beaders, you already have all this spacers you're going to need for a whole lifetime.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I could do a ladybug. Okay, I gotta do a ladybug. Let's see. This is bead meditation. Welcome, folks. Jessica says, I'm surprised. She's surprised they don't add more spacers. Well, I've always wanted to include more metal spacers, but my rule is I only want to include really high quality spacers, so they would have to be like like something from TierCast, and they're kind of pricey per piece. I would only be able to give a few, and I just don't, and like it would take up a lot of the budget. Like, so I always have to weigh things when we're putting the box together. Like, okay, we could do like 5 of these spacers, or we could do a whole set of beads, and like sometimes that call makes itself.
Yeah. Well, but then it leaves it up to everybody else to kind of dig through their stash and see what they've got, or, make a special order from TierCast and tell them, hey, Sam sent me over here, which is always accepted in our circle of industry friends for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I should get some more of those sorts of spacers from TierCast into the shop, because they do have some nice stuff. But that's also why I've been getting more sea beads, because they work so well. Well, gosh, I don't even know where to go next. Let's see I guess I'll see how long this is right now. I can just basically add some blues, and that's going to be the third color block.
I'm feeling like I need to speed up, like way fast.
You're good. You do what you can. It's nice to see the idea. So are those all going to hang from the ring?
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to figure that part out here in a second. As soon as I've got 3 more of these to wire wrap. I'm going to figure out how to hang them without them crowding each other out, which is a whole issue in itself. So it may be that I use some jump rings. It may be that I'm not real sure, but we'll talk about that when we get there, because it is an issue that comes up, not just in a tassel situation where you're making a beaded tassel, but also if you're working on a multi-strand design where there are beads involved. You don't want things to crowd each other out, and there are ways that you can make it work.
I'm very curious to see. Maria suggesting I use some of my, I just saw a comment that suggested I use some of my ideas as dangles, and that's nice. That's a great way I could add some more of the elements that won't fit on the strand. Definitely gonna do that.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone's looking out for us in the comments. Eloise is reminding me not to forget my little coins here. Okay.
You ever have those days where like your cell phone, other than your email, is pretty much silent all day, but then you have other days where it never fails, you're in the middle of a live and like everybody that you know calls you? Everybody, literally every person that I know, other than you, because you and I are together, everybody is calling my phone right now. I'm like, what is happening? Why does everybody need me right now?
Are you someone who feels like you're able to go on Do Not Disturb?
No, because if I do that, then people take offense and they're like, oh, she's mad at me.
What?
I know. It's because I'm a people pleaser. I struggle. I love that you do that, because sometimes I'll go to send you a message and it'll say Sam's messages are set to Do Not Disturb. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. He'll just read this when he can. And I think that I need to do that.
Well, sometimes I have to, because like if I get a phone during certain lives, like the live shuts down.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we can't hear you. I'm like, oh, right. That's my bad. Okay, what am I doing for a clasp for this? Let's see. Could do a loop onto something. Do I have a button accessible? Let's see. Do you think it would be possible?
Says her what?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Nicole says her phone always rings when she's eating. I kind of have that problem too. If I'm live or if I'm eating, my phone, it goes crazy. Like, people just know. They just know.
Let's see. Do you think it's possible if I was thinking of wrapping this so that the wires come to the back here like a little button.
Yeah.
And then make the other side of the bracelet a loop.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you think that would work? I don't think I've ever turned a bead into a button. We've always turned buttons into beads, but can we reverse engineer it?
Oh, I think you can. I really, really think you can.
Grab some 20 gauge. Let's see how this works. I think it could work. I'm just gonna kind of wrap it like similar to the brio wrapping you showed. I'm gonna bring it there to the center. Bring my strands back. Theoretically, this should work. It's just going to be about making sure my loop isn't too small or too large. And it's another way to add some more of these whimsical beads into it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm starting to add my beads to my ring here, and this is where things are this is kind of like where I've got to make some decisions. So I'm gonna put 2 on here, and then I just want to kind of hold it up and look. And it looks like with just one jump ring, they would be okay, but you can see how it kind of, the beads are sitting up against each other, so it is making kind of a fan, but it might be a little bit too much. And so in order to kind of create some more space there between those so that they're not really like crowding each other out or forcing each other to sit in a certain area, you can always add extra jump rings or something smaller. And the same is true when you're creating a multi-strand design, because you're bringing all of your strands together at one point on either side of your necklace, whether it's where your clasp is or maybe your multi-strands come together and then turn into a single strand somewhere near your collarbone or whatever the design may be. You can use something smaller as that transition between the beads and whatever your strands are all going to come together to, and make it so that the individual pieces are not fighting with each other. I feel like if you leave them to fight with each other, it kind of muddies up the design.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you
just
think?
Don't want it to be distracting, you know?
Yeah. What do you think will be best for spacing them out then?
Well, I'm hoping just the addition of an extra jump ring is going to be enough, but sometimes it takes a couple of jump rings, or it'll take a combination of different sized jump rings. A lot of times you just kind of have to play with it and see what works. One of my favorite things to go to, of course, is a smaller bead, and I technically could use some seed beads in here if I wanted to, but that would require some more like wire wrapping, and I'm trying to go a little faster. But that's always an option, you know?
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't use 20 gauge like I did. If you're trying to attempt what I'm doing, that 20 gauge is way much too difficult than it needed to be to get this wrapped up. And it looks like a little hot mess, but it will work. I would say a 22 might have been better for that scenario. Let's see. My sister commented that I should just put a whole bunch of seed beads on here to make my loop. Kind of like you made that loop with the peanut copper beads last month, I think.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh, and that's a great way to make a loop. I love that.
Well, this is the test to see if we can successfully turn this bead into a clasp, because you can't just I've made this mistake in the past. You can't just string up the bead normally and use it as a clasp, because it won't stay. It needs to hold like a button.
Yeah.
It needs to have the strand coming from this side of it to really work properly as a clasp. So I'm thinking the concept here would work. It's just going to be the execution. Do you want to zoom in on what you're doing so we can see kind of the final assembly of the tassel?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not going to zoom in as far as like put mine bigger. I'm just going to move down a little bit because I still want to see what you're doing. And
Fine.
So I technically did what you said, but I also didn't.
Oh gosh, I didn't put a crimp bead at the start of these seed beads. Gosh darn it. Try that again.
I don't know. Now I'm just going to have to keep going and see what happens here, because at this point, I'm not sure that I've solved anything. We shall see.
We're both doing a little experimentation here, so I hope that is at least there's a lesson in there itself. There's something there, Sarah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be as perfect projects every time, because not every project comes out perfectly.
That's true.
All right, back to stringing on my seed beads again. Let's see. I'm just hoping I have enough thread to even do this. Do you have a fun week ahead of you, Sarah?
I've got a pretty busy week. Unfortunately, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, which just kind of throws my whole schedule off. But
Why are we so aligned? I go on Saturday.
I wish my dentist was open on Saturdays because that would make my life so much easier.
Oh, it's lovely. I don't know how I lucked out, but I love I always sign up for those Saturday slots.
Yeah, I would love to have that. I got to go get them cleaned, and then I got to get a whole nother set of the Invisalign, and that means that my mouth is going to hurt for a month, and I just don't like the dentist. I'll be honest with you. I just don't like it. Yeah. And I avoid it as much as I can, but they always call and they're like, we know you're avoiding us. You need to come in here and get your teeth cleaned. Fine. I can't hide forever. Okay. Oh gosh. So, but yeah, other than that, I've got to work on kits. I'm running behind this week. Yesterday, I had a lot of personal, just life stuff that I had to deal with. And I hate when it interferes with my work life. It's really frustrating, but I mean, sometimes it's just unavoidable. So I am going to be playing kind of catch up this week, but I've got this fun live with you going on right now. I've got our Feel Good Friday show. So I'll be working on kits for the rest of the week. And then our Hardwired group, we have a special guest. Meredith Roddy is coming to show us. Yeah, she's going to show us some wire crochet.
Oh my gosh.
And that's on Friday. And then after that at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I've got a class with you.
Oh my gosh. Wow, you got plenty this week.
Yeah. So I got a lot of fun stuff going on. Minus the dentist.
Yeah, folks haven't heard. Sarah and I are back together on Friday on the Sam's Beach Shop page. We're live on all this is technically a Sarah live right now, even though we're live in multiple places, but Sarah will be doing the Sam's Beach Shop weekly class this Friday. And I think lots of wire in our future, lots of German style wire in our future.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. Because I didn't know I was doing this sort of loop when I started this. I don't know if I have enough. Trying to see if I have enough.
Kim says, I love my dentist. I'm a weirdo. So I love my dentist personally, like as a human.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't love the things that he does inside my mouth with his food. That's not, I try not to hold it against him, but sometimes I'm like mad at him. You know what I mean? Like, don't take it personally, Dr. Solly, but I am a little mad at you today because you hurt me. So I just don't. He's been my dentist forever though, and he knows that I'm all types of sassy, so it's all good.
Oh my gosh.
That's why they call me and they're like, we know you're hiding. We know you're avoiding us. You're gonna need to come in. Because I have that kind of relationship with them. So
I'm pausing because I think I'm gonna need more thread if I really want to do this with the button clasp. Otherwise I can just do a normal clasp.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on this. Okay. I made mistakes, and I'm going to tell you what my mistakes are. So first and foremost, I should have done what I said originally. And instead of using wire pieces to do my wrapped loops, I should have used eye pins. And the reason is because the wire, there's too much. There's too much wire. There's too much space happening between these beads. So it's hanging like spider legs, and I'm not feeling that. I feel like if I had just stuck with the plan and gone with simple loops with eye pins, everything would be hanging a little bit more compact instead of this weird kind of creepy, this thing looks like it's going to come to life and run off my desk. That's kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. However, the color palette and the idea, the concept is good. And it is going to come together nicely, but there is just too much space in these little sections. There's two sets of wire wraps here. There's two sets of wire wraps here. That's just too much. So if you've learned anything today, at least it's that, you know,
How does it look held up though?
So held up, that's also, let me turn you around. That's also another issue, is it's not quite, gravity is not quite doing what it needs to do with this. And part of it is because of the extra.
Oh.
It hangs okay. Because I do want it to be more of like a cluster than a fan. It's only going to fan if it's laying flat. But I do feel like I could have added maybe even one more of the strands of beads, and again shortened everything up with the wire part, and it would. I just feel like it would be a little bit more balanced. There's just too much metal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's beautiful. It seems like it's really close to something.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna get there. It's just not there yet. It needs a little tweaking, but a lot of times it's you don't know till you try it, you know?
I really like the layering of the textures though. It reminds me a lot of like mixed media pieces.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, it looks like layered chain. That's why I think I'm so drawn to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, I can switch my camera around if you want to add my other device.
Cool. We can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did something. I really like. I feel like I still like seeing your piece. I'm really liking the layering of it.
Yeah.
I actually think it's quite I think it's quite pretty.
I think it's gonna be. It really is gonna be. Like I can make it what I want it to be. It's just gonna take a little bit of kind of working out the kinks and finding the balance with that wire in there.
I like how the wire kind of brings the blocks of beads. Actually, it's a really kind of cool concept you have there that could be used in multiple ways.
Yeah.
I really like it. I think there's something cool going on there, Sarah.
Well, thanks. it will make a great focal for a long piece. So what I'm thinking from going out from this point is just to take some bead stringing wire and maybe string 4 inches on either side of a series of some more beads with some more texture, and then maybe just finishing the rest with some chain to kind of bring that chain feeling all the way around. So it eventually will be what I envision it to be, but with time, and I mean, at least we got the concept going.
And if you like, I guess if like you have that and you just don't like how those are laying together, those are beautiful strands that could just become part of another layout easily.
Yeah.
They're such beautiful wire wraps.
Thank you. All right, hold yours up. Let's see.
Oh, well, I see I told you that I didn't know I was doing the loopy loop. So oh gosh, sorry. Hold on. Go away, light. Okay. But I do like the color blocking. That piece did work nicely.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. It's really, again, you do texture so well.
It's like simple, but it's something that I would wear.
Yeah.
Because it has I really like bronze, copper tones. I mean, I might just finish this off with a normal class just so I can get to wear this today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something I do like about it, but the idea, at least I have implanted the idea for a future piece that you totally could use a coin bead or any bead of that matter as a clasp if it's wrapped right.
Absolutely.
So all that was wrapped on the back.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
Doing a little cleaner job, but there's no reason that wouldn't work for a class.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's brilliant, and I think that you've given a lot of people a lot of really good ideas now, because sometimes you get down to where you just have one flower bead left or one coin bead left, and that's a great way to use them. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Color blocking is also a great method of using up, as a kind of stash buster.
Yeah.
Because it does not matter how much you have of each bead.
Yeah.
As long as folks are making such beautiful rainbow designs this month, and they're just using up their beads and like they're becoming magic. Like they're just
Yeah.
like, okay, here's some extra reds and here's some like oranges and like they're
Yeah.
so pretty.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've seen some really beautiful things this month. I mean, I see beautiful things every month, but I just when you use the full rainbow palette, oh my gosh, like it
Mhm,
just works. Like God knew what
mhm.
he was doing. You know what I mean? Like that color palette, that combo just works no matter what you use it in or
Yeah,
on. So
agreed.
yeah, super cool.
Oh, well, that was interesting.
I
I
agree.
hope
I think we had a good time though. I mean, I think you
I
and I
did.
both really kind of we worked with what we had and designing on the fly. Like you said, it doesn't always work out exactly the way you want it to, but it's definitely worth having other people see the process
Mhm.
and you know and walk through it with us and get inspired. So I don't think that I think it was a win all the way around.
Okay, I'm with you. So let's see. We're coming to the end of the month, so folks are soon gonna be able to sign up for Hardwired, the
Yep.
fabulous Hardwired group. When does that
Yes.
open up?
So that opens up, let's see, what's today? Today's the 21st. So that'll
First.
open up, I believe, next week, and it will be open for an entire week. So if you're
Ooh.
looking to be a part of the Hardwired group, you'll have an opportunity to come and sign up. We only open up at the end and the beginning of each month for about 7 days. Sometimes we give or take a day or two, just kind of depending, because we want everybody to be able to get in that wants to
Mm.
be there. So
Well, that's exciting. I
yeah.
hope lots of folks sign up because that's the other best subscription in town, I think.
Well, thanks. Let me give y'all a little teaser. If you're curious as to what we do in Hardwired, we are so this week we're doing a throwback to a project that we did almost a year ago where we make these wire frames. So the wire frame is made out of really thick gauge wire, and then we freeform wire wrap on the top of it to make these really beautiful like freeform pendants. And everybody's always look different, and it's again a great stash buster, but it's also like a work of art all in itself, and you really
I
can
want
just
a
like
sculpture of that. I want that on my wall.
yeah, like they're super cool. They're
I wanna
really
make a
really cool.
really big one.
Yeah, with like some gorgeous amazing gemstones. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have so many randoms, like so many randoms. Wow, wait, so that's today's project?
That's today's project. Yeah, so those are
Oh,
just kind of
cool.
the things that we do over in Hardwired for anybody who's interested. Yeah.
Oh, super cool. If folks are I've been thinking a lot about, like, value these days because like, things are a-changing, like, we can't
Yeah.
deny the times, and I think it's, like, really helpful to help start identifying the pieces, the options that are available that provide, like, a really nice value and feel right now.
Yeah.
Like, something like Hardwired was, like, $29 a month,
Yeah, it's super
and
cheap.
you're getting a minimum of 4 projects
Mhm.
with, you basically can ask as many questions as you need. It's a pretty small group, so you can ask lots of questions.
Yeah.
Um, like, if you think about that, like, as, like, a per week thing, it's, like, amazing value for something that can bring so much joy. Like, I just think it's a really amazing offering you have that you're like, I mean, people get some more time with Sarah, and you get to learn all these amazing techniques. I just think if you're thinking about, like, what sort of things you're gonna keep right now,
Yeah.
things that, like, have a lot of value, bang for the buck, like, don't get rid of those things right now. Those are the things that, like, bring
Yeah.
so much joy. Like, if
Agreed.
actually that's the things you should be grabbing onto right now.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The Hardwired group, we really strive. I mean, we've got such a close little community there. And not only do we socialize with each other, but we really are kind of like honing our skills and building from the things that we're learning here on the free lives, but then kind of taking all of that we've
Mhm,
learned to the next level and really kind of growing our confidence more than anything else. I mean, if
mhm,
that's what you need for your next step in your jewelry journey, the Hardwired group is an amazing confidence builder just because of the community that we have and the way we encourage each other.
mhm.
And,
It's a
and
lovely space.
it really is. I mean, and we get silly and fun, but at the end of every live, I always feel like, we did a lot of laughing and stuff, but we really did learn something. And I learn something every time we get together. So It's definitely it's a huge personal project for me that I'm really super proud of. And I definitely want people to come and be a part of it. We're open to everybody. But the same is said for your bead box. I mean, the value there is, I mean, if nothing else, we showed that today. We have so many pieces that we potentially could make, so much leftover beads. We can make collections. We could do so many things and really kind of stretch ourselves creatively. So I put Sam's bead box right up there with the Hardwired group.
I appreciate that.
Those are two things I certainly, I look forward to in my week and my month. So
yeah, well, because I always wanted the box to be more than just be. I want it to feel like an experience, so that folks can come to this each month, and they can, and I do even more than I try to do at least a few lives a month using the box. So like, you're not just getting the box. We're trying to also create a whole experience around it.
Yeah.
Anywho, this was a lot of fun, Sarah. Thank you for having me on.
So much fun. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining us. You guys, don't forget to check out Sam's live sale tonight. Hardwired group. We're meeting at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Sam's got another live in there, don't you? Before our Friday.
Yeah, I do a Tuesday, Thursday live. So today's the Beadbox Extras. Thursday, we're actually doing like a summer clearance sale.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because I'm getting a lot of these like $5 deals in for some upcoming lives, and I don't have enough space. So we're doing a clearance sale Thursday for stuff that has stayed its welcome. So lots to check out at the shop this week.
That's awesome.
So definitely join our like email text list if you're someone who wants to.
Absolutely. Don't miss out. Make sure that you guys are joining Sam's Facebook groups as well, because the inspiration there is just, I mean, it's, some of the pieces are just jaw dropping. I mean, it's amazing. So
crazy.
Yeah, it really is. If you're not a part of his Facebook groups, go do. What are you doing with yourself? Go do that. They're free.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, how are Sarah's lives free? Like, how? I don't get it.
Thanks.
That's like, some people commented on TikTok and they're like, and this app is free? I just learned all this. This app is free? Like, what?
It's pretty crazy.
Like, what? Sarah's like a professional teacher here. Like, oh my God.
Oh, thanks. You're making me blush.
You are. I'm not saying anything that isn't the truth. So anywho, folks, take advantage. There's lots of great things to enjoy in the world right now. So don't forget to enjoy those things.
Absolutely.
I'm saying this to myself also out loud.
All right, my friends, thank you all for joining us. You can see me and Sam again on Friday. We'll be together. Or if you just want to see us by ourselves, you can find us that way too. But I think we're more fun as a team. I'm just saying.
I agree. Come to California. I look up flights to Tennessee all the time. They're always like $800. I'm just like,
I know.
Why?
Right?
Why? I don't get it. I want to.
All right, I'm making my way. If I have to walk, I'm coming. So.
Alrighty. I will see you on Friday, Sarah.
Yeah, sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.